Oren, we've just sold a beautiful investment property, and it was gorgeous. It was completely renovated.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Let me tell you, a champagne moment. We were panicked. Nevertheless, new kitchen, new floors, new washrooms, pull-down walls. It's a brand new home. It's perfect.
Yeah.
But the only comment I could find when I went in for a final review was, this floor's squeaking, right? I found the one squeaky board, right? And all I could keep telling my husband was, this is amazing, but why didn't you seal down and screw down this floorboard? And he asked me, like, are you serious? Like, that's all you got to say?
Right.
And my response was, I'm so frustrated for you because this is such a magnificent product, but there's a squeaky floorboard.
Right.
And, you know, when we dig deeper, we call this the BrokenTile Syndrome.
Yeah.
Why is it we all seem to have a squeaky floorboard or a newly painted room, and we'll find just that one thing that's not perfect? And we do it in business, we do it in reviewing our teams. We all have it, but why?
Yeah. I mean, I know the psychology of this well. I mean, that's
Yes.
a topic I delve into a lot, and it's in the Digging In course. We spend a lot of time on this. I spend a lot of time on this. And so it's helpful to understand where it's coming from and to know that everybody has this. And it's how our brains are wired. And if you think about it, and people always talk about the times when we were chased by saber-toothed tigers, right? Where if you're in the cave and you're going out to hunt and you need some food, well, then you're concerned with the immediate things that are going to kill you. So your brain is pre-wired. It's 70% pre-wired to identify the negative. So it's always searching for the negative things, and because it comes from a place of things that are negative are going to kill you.
Right.
And so we distort how much negative we pick up and versus the positive. And so it's the same reason why CNN, people call it the constant negative news. And it's not just CNN, it's all news. They just throw out the negative. It's because our brains are obsessed with that sort of stuff, because 70% of the time we're looking for the negative, whether it's the broken tile, whether it's you walk into a crowd and you're picking up all the faces that are not smiling and you sort of distort and you think everybody's not happy or not. Like, it's whatever it is, whatever scenario, we're pre-wired to look for the negative. There's Dr. Amen. I think Dr. Amen talks about it. I forget his name at the moment. We can put it in the show notes, but essentially the acronym is ANTS. It's the automatic negative thoughts, right? So we've talked about that. So in the course I talk about put pants on your ANTS. So positive alternatives to negative thoughts. Yes. And so we have to train ourselves to focus on the positive. Right. And so I think the first step is just being aware that everybody has that. You can't get rid of it. That you can train yourself to focus on the positive first. And a nice practical exercise, which I do, is before you say, and so with your husband in the new house, so before you say anything about the negative, the squeaky, like focus on 3 positive things first. So like train your brain to say, before I say something negative, say 3 positive things. Right. And that's with respect to kids or work or giving feedback to anyone, because you know that your brain's automatically very easily finding the negative.
You know, it's been fascinating just for all of you out there, because you're obviously watching because you care about taking a step forward in your intrapreneurial or entrepreneurial journey. And kudos to you, because Oren and I are on the same journey, and it's not easy. And while all of us are putting ourselves out there, there are many who are watching and critiquing all of our journeys, right? Because it's much easier to find the squeaky board than it is to actually build the whole house, right? And so we've developed a great sense of humor about it, but it also stems very much from, this is pivoting a little, our business philosophy of a little bit of minimally viable product. Right. How do you create momentum? Because perfection is, we always talk about perfection is almost the opposite. It's perfection's a failing, because nothing would happen. Right. Being bold and courageous enough to take some kind of imperfect action and get better. Take feedback and get better and better. So that's it. We're all putting ourselves out there, and it's okay to have the squeaky floorboards. Rather have the house than no house with perfect floorboards. I think that's
totally.
what
And
we're
I'll give
saying.
another example. I mean, the course, my Bedrock course. Yes. So the first videos are rough. Like, I was struggling a little bit and getting into my cadence, and that's a feedback that I've had from people where they're like, no, it's a little bit dry, you're like teaching, but then you warm up and they get much more engaging. But so I recognize that, and it's a journey, but I wouldn't want to take away from that because the content is actually really good. And so if you sort of take it for what it is, and there's no doubt there's going to be feedback and people, and there is feedback where I've had lots on that, but people come at it from a good place generally, and so they take it for what it is, and they always say that there's improvement. And that's, you got to put yourself out there, and you got to know that everybody out there, all of us are pre-wired for the 70%, the negative thoughts. One is we have to build ourselves up and be totally secure where to be able to take that feedback.
Right.
And be comfortable with it.
That's right.
So yeah, it's the MVP. Put yourself out there.
Absolutely.
You got to do it.
So I think our message to everyone out there is, one, be careful of suffering from BrokenTile Syndrome.
Right.
You're going to, but 3 positive thoughts first. So before you kind of recognize a squeaky floorboard. But the other part is know that as you're out there putting yourselves forward in entrepreneurial and entrepreneurial journeys, there are going to be people in your paths who are going to be suffering from BrokenTile Syndrome.
Yeah.
And it's okay. Embrace it. Embrace it and have fun with it. We're living with the Bedrock principles every day. It's a journey, and we want you to partner with us on it.